This is mine. Oh. There they go. Beautiful. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine, yeah. You know, you just push 8 if it starts to twinkle. Thank you. And it warms up.
I was looking for Lance and he's up in the booth. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Settle into your seats. All right. So many smiling faces this morning. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. I welcome you here to today's service, and we welcome everybody on our love stream, knowing that they are in our hearts, and we welcome them as well. So my name is Sandy Spurgeon, and I'll be your platform assistant today, and Reverend Anand will be giving our talk. And we're now going to do our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Sandy. We, the community of Unity in the Gold Country, acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Nisenan people who have lived in relationship with this land for countless generations. We honor their enduring presence, resilience, and deep spiritual connection to the earth. In gratitude, we honor this land, its beauty, history, and the people who have always protected it. And we are also grateful for the long lines of ancestors behind each and every one of us, knowing that they are guiding us and supporting us in their own special way.
Hello, there we are. Here I am. Okay, so we'd like to give a special welcome to anyone who is here for the very first time. If you are here and you did not receive a packet at the entry, if you could raise your hand. Actually, if you're here for the first time, just raise your hand anyway. Yay! All right, thank you. We welcome you with lots of love, and we hope to be able to visit with you a little after service. Prayer is a foundational piece of unity in general, and we have a chaplain today, Carolyn Homan. Carolyn, can you raise your hand? And Carolyn is available for prayer with you in the chapel. She'll be in the back of the sanctuary after service, and she'll walk you back to the chapel. We do have prayer request forms outside of the sanctuary doors, and our chaplain team will hold you and your loved ones in prayer, and your prayers are then sent to Silent Unity. And that is a 130-year-old prayer practice that Unity has back at Unity Village in Missouri. You'll be continued to be held in prayer for an additional 30 days. So, and do remember that Silent Unity offers prayer support 24/7. So if you have a prayer need, doesn't matter what time, you can give them a call. And if you'd like details, we can provide the details for you. Okay, so we will begin by lighting our Christ candle. So I just invite you to settle into your chairs. Just be fully present right here, right now, as we acknowledge the Christ within each and every one of us, that beautiful presence of the Christ. With gratitude, we gather as the unique expression of the divine presence that we are. We pause to feel into this life force that invites us to be a creative partner with it. We now allow it to fully embody within our whole being. We also sense and feel the connection that exists between each one of us, the universal web of intelligence that we partake in as a human race. As we appreciate our web of connectivity with one and all, moving from a me to a we focus, we express our desire to unite with all humanity through the energy of compassion and kindness. We invite this energy to now rise up within us while extending outward to connect with Mother Earth and all sentient beings. This uniting spirit of oneness, of the one I am presence, we call the Christ. We light this candle now as a reminder that we are all blessed by being part of this one presence. It is the truth. Let us own it and make it real in our lives. So now I invite you to stand for our opening song, God is My Source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my strength, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. Love is my strength, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Peace is my strength, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my strength. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Yay, and a special thank you to Angela and Gabriel, who will be our music today. Thank you. Go ahead and greet your neighbor. That vibration going.
Joyful noises. Whee! We're here together. For our invocation today, I know you guys are rowdy today, huh? We don't want to come in from recess. Whoa, okay. I get it. Okay, we're having a technical thing. So let's just take a breath. For our invocation today, we pause. We pause together, we settle in this moment, and we release the effort of holding everything together. Getting the hum of recognition there. And to remember the strength that is inherent within each of us. Howard Thurman, Christian mystic, theologian, professor, dean, and mentor to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He went over to India and met Gandhi and had a whole pivot, not super pivot, but upliftment from his time with him, and really helped to spearhead the nonviolent movement, civil rights movement over here. So he reminds us, Howard Thurman, he reminds us, there is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. Let's do that again. There's something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. In this sacred space, may we listen for what is genuine within each of us. May we trust our capacity to feel what arises, to stay present with our own hearts, and to meet life without armor or fear. May we remember that strength is not force, but the quiet courage to remain open and grounded and held in spirit. And so we open ourselves up now to truth, to love, and to the enduring strength of the divine within. And so it is. Amen. And would you join me in saying our prayer intention? Together, we set the intention that as each name on our prayer list is read, that person is bathed in love and their highest good comes to them. Am I mic'd? Okay, you can hear me? Okay, thank you. So as I read the names, you can just do whatever feels prayerful to you. Bob Anderson, Jacob Gabriel Peskin, Beth Leiden, Bill and Lita Spoto, Todd Woodbury, John Ebby, Margaret and her 3 children, Bobby Rack, Kay Jones, Ernst Cherny, Rhonda Blaine and Braden, Michaela Phillips, Dave Martin, Gail Smullen, Curtis Julie and Meyer Zumwalt, Patrick Davis and family, Mark Lanham and family, Claudia, Nick, and Casey Bruce, Doug Holman, Will and Charlie McBride, Melissa W., Lauren Giles, Kent and Josette Treber, Angela Postel, Joanne Clapp Fuliger, Mark and Shelley Wandrow, Kristen Van Leest, Jenny Mary Lynn and Deidre, Patricia Plank, Nancy Chandere, Rosie the Rescue Dog, Jamin Zaleski, Lynn and Melissa Matos. And now you can speak the names aloud or to yourself quietly, those you would like to add. And our faith statement, you're welcome to join me in. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. Back to you.
So today's daily word is determination. My determination takes me far. If you'd like to say that with me. My determination takes me far. In every person's life, there will be times of ease and times of struggle. In the tougher times, it's natural to feel discouraged and tempted to give up on plans and dreams. When discouragement sets in, I remember I am fully human and fully divine, a spiritual being endowed with many divine gifts. I fortify myself by invoking my innate qualities of strength and power. They give me the determination to keep going, to stay the course. I can use my body and mind to accomplish what I set out to do. But I also know there is more to me than that. The attributes of God are mine to use. I believe in myself and move forward with determination. And in 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 8, so deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also your own selves, because you have become very dear to us. And so it is. So we're going to enter now into our time of meditation, and I invite you, I just love this one sentence in the Daily Word, I invite you to settle in as we open the door to invoking the innate qualities within you of strength and power. Okay. So just settle in. Feel yourself comfortable in your seat, feet on the floor. And if you like, gently close your eyes or just gaze softly downward. And let's begin by just taking a nice, slow, deep breath. Take a nice breath in and out. Take a minute or just take a moment to notice the flow of your breath. Allow each breath to bring you deeper into this present moment. And gently relax into this space. Imagine a vibrant green light around you. No effort, just a gentle, quiet presence. Something that's already at work within you. Rest in this awareness. I am in the presence of Spirit, and Spirit is in me. Imagine this vibrant green light moving down through your body to your feet that are planted firmly on the floor. And see the energy of this light extend through the bottoms of your feet downward toward the core of Mother Earth. Steady, grounded, supported. Anchored in the loving energy of Mother Earth, feel your body settle into her quiet strength, rooted in the truth of who you are. Rest in the awareness, I am steady, I am powerful, I am supported. Now gently bring your awareness to the root chakra. This is the place of creativity, of emotion and life force. See this area as a warm, glowing green light, as the warm, glowing green light fully presents itself in this space. With each inhale, see the light brighten. And with each exhale, feel it expand. This is an inner place where strength and resilience are born. Now gently bring into your awareness an area of uncertainty in your life. Not the story, just an awareness. Hold that awareness and that uncertainty in this wider field of light and grounded presence. Not to change it, just be present with it. Affirming to yourself, the Christ in me is equal to this moment. Whatever arises, I meet with the sustaining presence within me. Claim it as so. Know this divine presence goes with you, not as something you leave behind or something you search for, but as who and what you are. And so it is. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. And when you're ready to return your awareness to the space, you may just open your eyes. Be aware of the quiet fellowship of others. And may you carry this quiet strength into the days ahead. Blessed be. So you're welcome to sit quietly or join us in our next song.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you, angels. And isn't it already a bright, sunshiny day? It sure is. Boy, our weather has been so beautiful. So today we're talking about strength again for those of you who haven't been here this month or are new to us. This year we're diving into the unity teachings of the 12 spiritual powers of human. And each power has a color, a chakra, a month, and a disciple. This month is strength, and bright green is the color. The disciple is Andrew. The chakra is the loins area. And so today we're talking about facing what arises. I don't know about you guys, but for much of my life, I had a bandwidth of about this big of the feelings that I was willing to feel. Maybe that big. Good or bad, outside of that narrow bandwidth, I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, no thank you, I'm going to shut down, close for business now, and I'm just going to head to the grindstone and get through whatever I need to get through. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah. So my journey, my commitment for several years has been to expand. I commit to expanding my capacity to give and receive love. I expand my capacity to good feeling all the time. And what that has asked or demanded of me is that I face whatever arises. Because the clamp on the hose does not distinguish between despair and joy. You with me? Yeah. So it's been about opening the hose, expanding that gap, expanding my bandwidth to be able to feel it all and face it all. And this is not for the faint at heart. So we're rarely afraid of what's going to happen. And right now you might be saying, oh, no. I'm afraid of this person dying or this collapsing or this failing or this, that and the other. These events. It's not about that. We're afraid of how we're going to feel when these things may or may not happen. Let me say that again. We're not afraid of things happening. We're afraid of feeling when those things happen. The only true fear is of feeling. How am I going to manage that? So there's plenty of common fears, loss and rejection and failure and change and uncertainty and transformation of all kinds, whether it's we leaving our body or somebody we love leaving their body, moving, changing jobs, getting fired, businesses collapsing, so-and-so not acting right, particularly those closest to us. So the question underneath most of our fear is not what will happen, but will I be able to handle how I feel? Will I be able to handle it? And strength says yes. So we talked a little bit last week about the misunderstood capacity of strength as we're taught it. And this can include trying to manage outcomes, control environments or people, fix, manage, solve, figure it out. Self-reliance, we talk a lot about that in 12-step. Self-reliance availed us nothing is one of the quotes from the literature there. And this isn't because we're power hungry. If it goes too far off the scale, it might be. But it's really because we're afraid of being overwhelmed emotionally. Control is often an attempt to avoid these feelings that we don't trust, that we will survive. So again, the misunderstood cultural context is like bootstrapping and willing myself and figuring it out and very neck up exercise, which is kind of useless when we're being called to be grounded and in grit and faith and trust. So we fear feelings, not facts. What? Feelings are temporary. They're wave-like, or they have an arc. They have a beginning, middle, and end, if we allow them. They're information. They're not threats. And if we can be with them, then we don't have to feel unsafe. We're taught, a lot of us, when we're little, that feelings are unsafe. You shouldn't feel that way. Don't be sad. Be happy. Basically, I'm uncomfortable with you having a big emotion, and so let's manage you so that I don't have to feel all that. So we were taught that feelings were unsafe. There was no room for grief or fear or anger or even questioning or doubt or need. You know, anybody grow up in a family with secrets? I think everyone should be raising their hand right now. I saw some people nodding, but we all grew up with some sort of secrets or things that just weren't talked about. I went to my grandmother once when I heard that she had had a husband before my grandfather, and he had died right after they got married. And I was really curious, and I said, "Grandma, can you tell me about your first husband? We don't talk about that." Okay. All right. So shielded in secrecy. And one of the trainings I'm doing right now, Family Constellations, if you don't know it, look it up. Secrets poison the system. What does that mean? Well, every system we're in, family, congregation, community, country, secrets poison the system. So as we access our strength, we can shine the light on these things that have been making mischief, poisoning the system. So back then, when we learned that these feelings were not safe and that we had to hold it together, or stiff upper lip, I mean, these sayings that are so ingrained in our culture, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So we learned how to brace, armor, defend, control, and endure by tightening up. That's not strength, that's contraction. So strength in unity is the faculty that allows us to stay present with what arises. We remain anchored in truth while emotions move through us. We experience without collapsing, armoring, or defending. So we are allowed our full human experience, and yet we know our divinity, our unshakability is always there. And when we don't know, good thing we're like redwoods, and while we may have shallow roots, we have knit them together with other redwoods. That's you all. So when I feel unsteady, I've got a whole community to buoy and keep me anchored. Those are two contradicting metaphors, I'm realizing. But yeah, we've got our feet on the ground and our heads towards the divine. So strength is not the absence of strong feelings. We don't absolve ourselves from having strong feelings. So we don't should ourselves out of feelings. Strength is the capacity to feel deeply without losing ourselves. Let's take a breath on that. Feeling deeply and not losing myself. It's spiritual endurance at an emotional, energetic level. It's not grin and bear it. There's another one of those, grin and bear it, no pain, no gain, you know. So recently I was in Puerto Rico with our family at our place that is now on the market, making our even bigger transition from Puerto Rico, which I started a year ago. And I did mention this before, but I think it's worth saying again. The morning I was leaving, had to go to the airport, right? And I needed to leave at 11. And I was determined to go to the beach and be in the water and float in that water that I love so much. And I went. And when I was there, I was floating and sobbing. And I was sobbing because of loss and grief, yes, and gratitude for everything that I got there, everything that I gave there, everything I co-created there, everything I got to witness there. And I had so much love and devotion for Mother Earth and the ocean and the jungle and the mountain and my husband and my parents-in-law who were with us and every life that I touched and was touched by while I was there. I cracked myself open. I allowed my strength to buoy me, as the ocean did, with every complex emotion that was flowing through me. I didn't put the clamp on the hose. I let it flow and flow and flow, and cried and walked back home barefoot, blessing Mother Earth, thanking Mother Earth, telling Mother Earth, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was in bliss. And I was in bliss, well, really until now. And this was a month or so ago. Blips on the screen for sure. But I wouldn't have been able to access that bliss if I had not been able to lean in, to face into all these really hard feelings. And some of them were good feelings, but it was so big that I realized my bandwidth is growing, right? So I made myself vulnerable. And strength shows up as vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. Maybe you've been taught that. It's not without a capacity. Without this capacity of vulnerability, yes, things can be overwhelming. And even with vulnerability, they can be overwhelming. But that strength can pull us through. Vulnerability with strength is transformative. I would not have had that beautiful, blissful experience in Puerto Rico and beyond if I'd not been allowed myself to be vulnerable. So only someone who is inwardly resourced, okay? So this vulnerability, the strength came from here, within me. Not from you. I can borrow it from you. I can use my roots to get to bridge. Yes, phone a friend. Absolutely. Get to your meetings or, do your prayer and meditation. Absolutely. But the strength is within me. You can remind me of it if I'm faltering. But ultimately, I resource myself. So when we're inwardly resourced, we can feel grief without drowning. Or we can even drown and know that it's not going to last forever. We can let ourselves drown. We can feel fear without fleeing or freezing or fainting or fighting. I'm a freeze fleer. First I freeze, then I'm out of here. Some of you are fighters, got your dukes up. I'm not going to feel that. I'm going to blame you. I'm going to project that onto you. You made me feel that. We don't play that here. And fainting, that's one I learned from Gay and Katie Hendricks. It's just like going dumb. What? I'm good at that one too. So let's talk about strength and listening across differences. There's a little bit of that going on right now, a little bit of differences going on. So let's talk about listening to opposing views is difficult, not because of the ideas themselves. What? No. They need to get on board with what's right. So listening to opposing views is difficult, not because of the ideas themselves, but because how these ideas make us right. Strong emotions can arise: fear, anger, grief, shame, or a deep sense of threat. So without inner strength, we tend to react rather than respond, and we react by interrupting, arguing, withdrawing, shutting down. I have a pie chart here to show you how wrong you are, and a graph over here. Don't you understand? This is the evidence that I'm right. Anyone relate? Yeah. So these reactions of arguing, withdrawing, shutting down, interrupting, they're not failures of kindness. What? They're signs that we're not trusting our own capacity. My own capacity to stay present and grounded in discomfort. Strength allows us to remain in the room when our nervous system is like, oh heck no. Unity does not require agreement or the abandonment of your values or another's in order to listen. We can stay solid in our own values and listen to what seems opposing. So spiritual strength also allows me to hear or be in the presence of something that's very uncomfortable without absorbing it, without collapsing. Again, staying rooted in truth and grounding. Listening is not agreement. Acceptance is not approval. But listening is presence, and that's what we need more of. I want to strike that from the record. That's what we're being invited to do. Presence, especially in the face of differences, is a real act of strength. Yep. All right, let's go back to Howard Thurman, the mystic, the mentor of MLK Jr. He understood strength not as force, resistance, or domination, but as the inner capacity to remain human in the face of fear, in the face of injustice, in the face of threat even. So, living as a black man in America, Thurman asked a different question than many religious leaders at the time. Not how do we defeat, but how do we keep the soul from being destroyed by hatred, fear, and despair? How do we keep the soul from being destroyed and have engagement? Yikes. He taught that the greatest danger of oppression was not only external violence, but what happens inside when fear goes unattended, when the inner life hardens, closes down, or collapses. For Howard Thurman, strength was the ability to stay present with fear without being ruled by it, to feel pain without becoming bitter. That's a tall order. Yeah. To remain open-hearted without becoming naive or Pollyanna-ish or like an ostrich. To listen deeply without surrendering one's dignity. He mentioned that without spiritual strength, without a grounded inner life, we lose our capacity to feel love and see one another as human. We see a lot of that right now. A lot of othering. A lot of making people less than. So he embodied strength not as toughness, but as this emotional and spiritual maturity, endurance, courage to stay awake, compassionate, connected. When closing off may and probably would have felt a lot safer. So strength is not what keeps us armored, but keeps us alive inside and available to be with one another. So if you like, you can sit up in a comfortable position, and if you want to, you can close down your eyes or just soften your gaze. And allow this to be a felt experience. Whatever's happening in your body is happening. What is it like to feel grounded in your body? Maybe your breath changes when you just bring your awareness to being grounded, to being present. If you want, you can put your hands in your lap or on your heart or on your belly. Whatever inspires you to recognize, open up to, and cultivate that feeling of groundedness. You might have something arising, some to do or to don't, or niggling annoyance or fear or sadness. And you can say to yourself, I can stay with this. If you want to, you can say it out loud with me. I can stay with this. I know that feelings move. I know that feelings move. I am held even as emotions arise. Let's say that. I am held even when emotions arise. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. You can shake it out if you like, or shake it in, and come back to the room if you want. So this week you can ask yourself, what feelings do I most try to avoid? I'm hearing giggles. My steady Eddie is despair. That's a brutal one. And then where do I try to over-control or manage or fix in order to not feel feelings? I've mentioned before that if I'm busy, I'm trying to outrun feelings. That's my mindfulness bell, one of them. If other people are wrong, that's my mindfulness bell, to stop, pause, go inside. Stop outsourcing my well-being to the outside world. What would it look like to trust my capacity rather than rely on control? So we end with knowing that strength grows every time we stay present instead of shutting down, controlling, managing, fleeing, fainting, freezing. When we stay with what arises, we're expanding our capacity to feel good, to give and receive love. And who doesn't want more of that? Yeah? So may you trust your capacity to feel. May you discover strength beneath your fear. That's like Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now. He talked about there's silence under everything. It doesn't matter how loud it is outside. There's silence underneath it. And I remember when I was reading that book, I was on the stoop in Chicago on a very busy street. And it was loud. And I just got quiet for a moment. And I was like, okay, what's under the bus exhaust and brakes? And what's under the honking noises? And what's under the chatter of the people working across the street? And what's under that? And what's under that? And what's under that? And then I heard the silence. So all that was still there, but I heard the silence underneath it all. And that's what we get to do here, is we get to feel the strength underneath it all. Because we are divine beings having a human experience. So we allow for the humanity and we tap into our divinity. We remember and we put our focus on our divinity. Only always does this work. And when we drift away from that, which we do and will, we recommit and we remember, I am divine, and strength is my birthright. It can't be taken away from me. It can never be taken away. All I need to do is shine the light on it. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Anand. So we have come to our time of love offering. And we know many of you give electronically, and we are so grateful for that. So you may want to place your hand over the basket as it passes by. And if you're giving with someone else, you can maybe hold hands and place your hands on your heart. Our Change for Change is going to Nevada Union High School Community Clothes Closet. So if you have extra change, that's where that will go. So if you'll join me in saying our love offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. That's okay.
I am open and I am willing for to be hopeless seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family. There is sorrow in my town. There is panic all across the nation. There is wailing the whole world round. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly. May the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though it burns our eyes. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty yoke to hold my confusion. Give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder. Give me an ocean to hold my tears. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us. So lift me up to the light of change.
Wow. That was a perfectly picked song. Thank you. We receive these gifts and the law of circulation that we participate in together with gratitude and love and endurance and strength. We really appreciate how these gifts allow us to function, but also go out in wider and wider circles of upliftment, support, love, health, and healing. And so it is. Amen. Now it's time for announcements and gratitude. One of our members had a house fire this week. And we are helping her expand her capacity to receive. Yeah. So if you'd like to help, we're taking a collection. There's some envelopes in the back. Also, you can give directly, Zelle, Venmo. For the other stuff, though, can I send them to you, Sydney? Anything else? Talk to Sydney. She'll find out if Patricia wants other things. It can be a big and overwhelming time when the roof comes off. So if there are other ways, you check in with the office or with Sydney. And gosh, I'm really moved at the amount of support that's already come forward, because that's how y'all roll. Thank you. We have our first energy healing clinic of the year, and that is going to be next Sunday, the 15th. Christy, are there still spots available? Yes. See, Christy, can you raise your hand? Yes, that's Christy, if you want to spot. And then Understanding Your Soul book study is happening following the service and snacks. We have snacks next. Around 12 p.m. That's here. Tuesday morning meditation. We'll have a short meditation and prayer followed by group sharing. And this is twice a month with Susan. You want to raise your hand, Susan? Thank you. Tuesday, February 10th is the next one, 10 to 11. And then we have our survey. Yay! A lot has happened this year. We want to hear from you. And they're out front. And there might be some in the back, too. And there's a place to put them in a basket up front. So please do, and get detailed, please. Richard, I see that you've written up this really beautiful thank you, and I'm going to give bullet points, and then we're going to put it in the bulletin, the e-newsletter. So there was a big group of hardworking folks, 9 people, spent 3 or more hours clearing away dead trees, taking care of our living ones, all around here. Lance Spurgeon and Ed Dennis, thank you for chainsawing. Woo! Several of the dead manzanita trees. Linda Bacchetti cut the limbs down to size for hauling away. Jim Strahan, a new congregant who's rolled up his sleeves right away. And Gordon also distributed wood chips. Thank you. Spread them around our trees. Pam Strong, Richard Henderson pulled out new invasive vine that just showed up this spring. Get away, that bad guy. And Sydney weeded, tidied up the entire plant bed in front of our building with the help of Leah. Thank you so much. Catherine Arbini has been regularly, she's always out there. And she takes care of the monumental task of cleaning up on the slope. That's scary. And last but not least, Richard, thank you for coming up this idea for having a cleanup day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just so you know, we're going to have 3 memorial trees. Richard's late husband, Rick, Rev. Jerry's late husband, Dennis, and Claire's late husband, Jay. So thank you, thank you. All right. I'm all teary. Thank you, Sandy, for platform assistant today. Thank you, Gabriel and Angela, always on point. Our greeters, Carolyn and Kathy, ushers, Larry and Karen, chaplain, Carolyn. Please see her if you'd like prayer afterwards. Hospitality, Bree and Corel. Sound was Drew, and Lance was also learning. Love Stream and PowerPoint, Edward and Leslie. Gift and Bookshop, Rosie, Altar, Mary Jo, and the children with Kelly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can applause now. Applaud. All right, let's say the prayer for protection together. Go ahead and stand up, and we'll rock it out. Thank you. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. And thank you all for being so kind and inclusive and loving to my family, my mother and father-in-law.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because we choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. We choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. We choose love. We choose love. We choose love.
Let's go love and be strong.
All right. That was good. Could you hear my guitar out?